Alright, so I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over a trap that occurs in the Queen's Gambit, and particularly the Queen's Gambit Accepted. And this trap is meant for lower rated players that are just learning the Queen's Gambit, and facing people that don't necessarily know what to do against it. So Queen's Gambit being d4, d5, c4. So this is not something that you'll see at the higher level, but typically at the lower level, a lot of guys as black will simply just take the pawn because they're very materialistic and they want to hang on to the pawn. So generally, I just recommend white go e3 here. There are all kinds of moves. There's knight f3, there's e4. There are a bunch of moves, but I just recommend the solid e3, and then there are a bunch of moves for black here, but it's not a good idea for black to try and hang on to this pawn here. However, a lot of guys will try and do that, so let's just see what happens if black plays b5 here. So this would not be good for black. So as white here, what do you want to do here? You want to undermine this pawn structure that he's created. So he's moving pawns, he's not developing pieces, he's just trying to hang on to this pawn on c4. However, he can't do that. So white's going to go pawn to a4 here, and a couple moves to consider for black. So white is threatening to just play a takes b5. A6 does not work because a takes b5, and you can't take back because you lose your rook on a8, so that wouldn't work. But a lot of guys here, and also b4, bishop takes c4, and white's doing quite nicely. But a lot of guys here as black will try and play pawn to c6 and hold all these pawns together. Black is trying really hard to hang on to this pawn on c4, but this does not work, and it's falling for a trap that is well known, and you just don't see this type of play at the top level. So a takes b5, and then assuming black plays c takes b5, he's going to be losing here, unfortunately, after trying to hang on to this pawn too much. It comes back to bite him after queen to f3, and this rook is a goner. So this is a pretty well-known trap, and it just goes to show that in the Queen's Gambit, black should not try and hang on to this pawn for dear life. He should do other things like knight f6, c5, other moves, but trying to hang on to this pawn on c4 is not recommended. If c6, it just falls straight into this queen f3 trap, and this is something that Queen's Gambit players should know. Although the Queen's Gambit Accepted is not the most popular at the higher levels, a lot of times at the lower levels you face it a lot simply because guys get materialistic and try and do stuff like this, and you need to know how to punish it. So I thought it was worth making a video on, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all for the video today, but I'll keep making more chess trap videos in the future, and have a good one.